Hi and welcome back to the NFSTI video tutorial series. Today's topic is creating a group. We're going to go over one of the top navigation bar items, and that's creating a group. As you can see, we're again starting at the home page and we've already logged in. If you scoot over here to where it says groups, we're just going to click on that to start. The purpose for these groups is to help segment the entire content of the website. If we were to put all of the content about default servicing into one page, it would be quite overwhelming and probably would be not necessarily impossible to navigate, but it would be very difficult and time consuming. The importance of a good website here when it comes to sharing content is to pare it down to manageable bite-sized chunks. So what we've done here is we've started off with approximately 8 groups in the early part of the year, and these are the 8 hottest topics that we've decided to cover, some of which were even designed by our own members. I'll show you by the end of this training tutorial how to go ahead and create your own group. Let's start by looking at what these groups are. So we've segmented this out. We know that from the top we've got our home page where we can get the latest news from NFSTI, what happens to be going on in the area of REO, short sale, and default servicing. We also know that on the activity page we can see what other members are doing, what articles are being written, news that's being updated and posted, and different achievements that people are acquiring. We can look up each of the different members within the NFSTI website by going to the members page. Now we're on the groups page. The hot topics that we've decided to cover on the groups page are as follows: BPO tips and tricks, DS Core REO certification 2011. That's the REO certification exam through NFSTI. It requires that you go through an 11-chapter instruction manual. There are audio files that go along with them, and then you have to take a 50-question exam and pass it with an 80% or better. Then you have your social media marketing for real estate, technical support for NFSTI.com. We do this so that people can get their technical issues resolved quicker. We do not have a phone number that we can call because most of us work full-time during the day, and then we contribute to NFSTI when we can in the off hours. So answering phone calls at this point is not practical and would cause for an increase in membership fees, which we want to keep down. So this has been a really good and quick way to resolve issues, and is a great place to go to if you think you have a technical issue that could have already been addressed. You can go in there, look at the archives, and see if it's been covered, and possibly have your answer to your problem right there. Short sales, which was created by one of our members, as was the social media marketing for real estate. HUDHomestore.com, which was also created by one of our members. Company contacts and lead generation. Most of this has to do with REO and valuation companies that you can start trying to get business through. There's no guarantees in this business, particularly nowadays, being that it's so competitive. However, if you're not signed up with them and you don't start making contact with these companies, you're guaranteed never to find success. And then lastly, one of our members created one called TechSmart, and that's leveraging technology to make you work smarter. Now let's go over to the right side of the page here. You'll notice that there's a few different color buttons on the right side of the page. The blue one that says request membership, a red one that says leave group, and then a green one that says join group. Also above that you're going to see a couple of different descriptions. Private group / 74 members, and then down here you'll see public group / 18 members. What these mean are as follows. Private group means that this is a privately held group that members can join through a request, but they don't get accepted immediately. It's up to the administrator to be able to accept them or not. This is to help keep, let's just say that it helps us to keep out the wrong people and possibly even any accounts that are not supposed to be on this website, which is rare. Then the second type is public group, and a public group, once you join that, you're immediately in. There is no acceptance process. It just is an open door policy. You walk right in. The second set of numbers is the number of members currently within that group. So in this case, BPO Tips and Tricks happens to have the most members, and that's 74 members. DS Core Certification for 2011 has 72 members, and Social Media Marketing for Real Estate has 18 active members. Down here in the green button, you can see the option of Join Group. So for HUDHomestore.com, for me to join this, because it's a public group, I simply have to click that green button. Once I do that, it's going to shift over to Leave Group, and that indicates that I've just been accepted into the group. Again, since it was a public group, didn't require any kind of acceptance. Now, let's change the situation. Company contacts and lead generation. This is a privately held group. This one has to be accepted through the administrator. In this case, we're going to click the green button that says Request Membership, and it's going to transfer over to another blue button that says Membership Requested. Once I get accepted into that group, I'll be able to see a red button up here indicate the new update has occurred. When I open that, it'll say accepted into this group, and I can then access the information within that group. For instance, DS Core REO Certification 2011 is a private group, and I've already been accepted into this group. So let's go ahead and access that information. Once I click the hyperlink for DS Core REO Certification 2011, it takes me into the group. The first thing I see is a description of the group. That tells me what it's about and whether or not it's going to be helpful for me. As I scroll down a little bit more, you see a second menu appear in the middle of the page, and here it is right here. Home, Courseware, Forum, Members, and Send Invites. These are actually very self-explanatory, but let's walk through them real quick. The home page, that's just the home page, the home landing page of this DS Core REO Certification 2011 group. Any updates that happen within this page, it's going to be kept within the DS Core REO Certification 2011 group. So for instance, here, Hector Pagan joined this group, and it indicated that it was done 3 days and 2 hours ago. Dan Waterman posted an update in the group. Here's the update. That way, anybody who's in this group would get notified of this update, and they would know that they have a note from the administrator, Dan Waterman here, and that they should read that. If there's additional information that they need or they'd like to comment about it, they can simply hit reply. Dan, can you elaborate on this post? Thanks. P.S. This is a demo. You can just hit post. That'll get updated, and a notification will go to the administrator indicating that there's a new post that's following up on their original post. If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see here some different content that different members have indicated. This has allowed us to be able to stay in touch and to keep everybody posted as quickly as possible. Let's move along in this menu bar here. The second one we're going to see is courseware. Courseware is going to be covered in tutorial video number 8. We've touched on it briefly in the past, and we'll touch on it briefly again here. Courseware is simply the word that NFSTI Online uses to describe the actual course and how you take a class. So any class that we offer, in this case the REO Certification 2011, it's all going to be listed under courseware. As we clicked on the courseware button, a few things happened. The first thing that happened is we got a submenu: Home, Course Description, Assignments, and Calendar. On the home page, we get an at-a-glance image of what is going on with this particular course. We see that there are 3 assignments, 4 responses, 0 schedules, no bibliography entries, and no assignment discussions started. Also to the right, you'll see a menu. You'll see a calendar. Below that, we'll see the latest assignments. In this case, take the NFSTI DS Core Certified REO exam, listen to the corresponding DS Core audio files, and read the DS Core manual. Now these are listed out in order of the most recently accessed, but that doesn't make sense in the order that it was listed to do them. So you would want to read the manual first, listen to the files, and then take the exam. That's just common sense. And then here's some of the most recent responses. 3 by Gina Lee, 1 by Kevin Moran. If we want to go up here to the submenu of courseware, we can see in a little bit more detail these 3 categories. So let's look at course description. Here we have instructions about how to go about handling this particular course. It tells us how to begin, it describes the course, and gives us some direction. You can read about that on your own time. In the meantime, we're going to go over to assignments now. In the assignment section, now you'll see things ordered in the proper chronological order that you should do them in. The first being read the manual, the second being listen to the audio files, and third being take the exam. They're pretty simple. The first one, you click on the instruction manual assignment, you scroll down, you read about the manual itself, and you can simply click on download manual. When you do that, it'll automatically bring it up in a protected PDF document for you. Feel free to print this off. Feel free to share it. We don't have it protected in the sense that you can't create your own copy of it. There we go. However, if you do share it, the person won't be able to take the exam or listen to the audio files unless they sign up for NFSTI. It'll still be a good read for them, however. And there's your manual. We can close this out now. And you could see under the assignments that there was also the audio files and the exam, both of which are exactly the same. The information that you need is right there on the assignment page. In the forum, you have different discussions that take place about this group. And under members, you can see all the members that belong to this group, and you can also invite fellow friends. The last thing that I want to cover is that if there's a group that you'd like to start and it's relevant to our DS Core or default servicing industry, feel free to create your own group by simply clicking this button here. Thanks. We'll see you again next time.